Good morning to one and all. In the previous class, we discussed about this extra widening of horizontal curves. This extra widening of horizontal curves involves mainly this mechanical widening and physiological widening. These topics are discussed in the previous class. Once again, we will take some points from this. After that, we will explain today's topic. In this mechanical widening, we are having these curves, that means inner curve and outer curve, R1 and R2. By using this, we will provide this equation, that means mechanical widening Wm equal to NL square by 2R. This equation entirely forms from a simple trigonometrical principle, that is equal to side square plus side square equal to hypotenuse square. By using this, we will derive this equation mechanical widening equal to NL square by 2R. After that, we are having physiological widening. This physiological widening has been given by IRC, that means depending upon velocity of the vehicle, we are having this physiological widening formula, that means WPS, widening due to physiological services, V by 9.5 root R, that is the where R is the radius of the curve, V is the velocity on that particular route. But in case of extra widening, we need to merge those two, that means mechanical widening and physiological widening. That is the total widening of the curve. W equal to WV equal to NL square by 2R plus V by 9.5R. This is the terminology involved in that. After that, we have to discuss this. This is the previous topic. Today we will discuss about this horizontal transition curve. That means while we are going to design a particular curve, normally these curves are designed at a particular point where there is a conflict point formed due to merging of two roads. That means merging means whenever we are having a different roads at that particular different points, we need to merge those two roads. Okay, this merging of two roads involves this type of transition curves, because if there is any perpendicular points at that perpendicular points, we have to move very slowly. So due to the slow movement of the vehicles, the entire traffic, forward and backward vehicles are affected due to this mid perpendicular joints. We don't have to provide these perpendicular joints whenever there is a conflict point, so that these horizontal transition curves are implemented to reduce those uneconomics of the particular roads. So today we will discuss about this horizontal transition curve. Why this transition means the total trigonometrical principles are involved to design this curve in the roadway, so that this curve is called as a transition curves. First of all, we will discuss about transition curve. A transition curve has a radius which decreases from the infinity at a tangent point to the design radius of the circular curve. That means tangent points. That means some trigonometrical principles are involved to design these roads. As previously we told that means tangent points. In a circle, we are having different tangent points. By using those tangent points, we will solve the curve and the radius of the curve and width and other thicknesses and super elevations, whatever we require to design the particular road, all those can be solved in the horizontal transition curve. The main point is the rate of change of radius of the transition curve will depends upon the shape of the curve adopted, the equation of the curve. That means the total radius, that means we will draw, this is the two roads merging at a particular point P. We need to overcome by simply drawing this radius. That means while we are having to meet this particular point P, means at that particular point P we are having huge amount of rush with vehicles. If there is a circular approach to connect those two lanes, there will be no traffic jams. Okay, this is the main phenomena behind the implementation of these horizontal transition curves. This is the rate of change of radius. That means if there is a eccentricities, that means E values. Normally circular having, say circle having equal radius, but in case of parabolas and other hyperbolas we are having these eccentric conditions. That means whenever the curve is looking like a parabolic or hyperbolic, we need to provide these eccentric radiuses others, so that we need to design the particular transition curve according to the shape of the curve and other climatic conditions and other needs which are required. Today we will discuss about those. Okay, this is the pictorial representation and terminology involved in the transition curve. I will zoom it. The diagram we are having two dotted lines, that means A and E. Okay, where in the terminology, first of all we will understand the different points. After that we will explain briefly. First of all, in the line we are having a direction. At this particular point we are having direction A. Okay, after that we are having here E. Those two are the endpoints of the road. From the two endpoints we are having two drawn lines. That means drawn line means the lines are represented with dotted lines. They are meeting at particular point O. This is the set particular merging point for that particular road. Okay, after that we are having a center. That means we need to locate the center for that particular horizontal curve. This is the center. After that center we need to choose a particular radius. That means whatever be the economical, at what distance we need to draw those radius, economical radius we need to choose. After the choosing we need to implement on those particular road. If there is any in the site itself, is there any irregularities, that means unevenness of the particular soil, we need to check that. After the checking is over we need to implement it on the drawing sheets. Okay, this is the radial curve. LS, that is the transitional length. Okay, transition curves and straight lines, tangent distances, deflection angle. Those deflection angles normally is at an angle of 90 degrees. In some cases it may be increases, in some cases it may be decreases depending upon the merging point. That means two lines connecting point. Okay, that is called as a merging point of two lines. The center to the particular B point we are called it as a tangent distance. Okay, tangent distance. What is the objectives? For every work there may be few objectives to do. Those objectives are what? For these horizontal transition curves. A transition curve which will be introduced between the two straight and circular curve will help in. That means two straight lines లో మనకి circular curve ని ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ చేయడం వల్ల మనకి ట్రాన్సిషన్ కర్వ్ అనేది ఫామ్ అయింది. వాట్ ఆర్ ద మేజర్ objectives? First one, gradually introducing centrifugal force. That means whenever we are traveling on a particular circular roads, we are having a centrifugal force acting on that. Due to that centrifugal force, if we move likely, so that our mind will be in a particular state due to those centrifugal force. మనం ఎప్పుడైనా కానీ రౌండ్గా ఎక్కువసేపు తిరుగుతూ ఉన్నప్పుడు మన మైండ్ మొత్తం కూడా పైకి తేలుతూ ఉన్నట్టు ఉంటుంది. ఎందువల్ల అంటే డ్యూ టు ద యాక్టింగ్ ఆఫ్ centrifugal force upwards. Likely there may be some sort of centrifugal force acting on the vehicle while it travels on a circular or radial curves. Second one is the gradual introducing designed super elevation. That means super elevation to contract this. That means to counteract, not contract, counteract these centrifugal forces. We need to provide these super elevations. That means banking angles and other cants. Okay, these are increases. Next one, gradually introducing extra widening. While we are traveling in a particular radial curves, whenever we need to go some super, whenever we need to take a overtake from our front vehicles, we need to have some extra space to overtake those vehicles, so that we need to require some extra amount of widening of the road. This is the gradually introducing extra widening. Next, fourth one is the to enable the driver turn steering gradually from the own comfort and safety. That means driver has to pay attention while traveling on those particular radial curves, and first of all the curve should be comfort to the driver and is safety. That means if the driver is in a comfort to travel on those particular road, automatically we are laying the road is not useful to the users. So that first of all the laid portion should be useful for the drivers and other vehicular paths, so that it may be comfortable to all the pedestrians and others using the road. These are the main objectives, four objectives. First one is the gradually introducing centrifugal force. That means centrifugal force may be gradually increases, not a sudden or simple rise. If the sudden rise is there, automatically vehicle should be slips. We need to increase the centrifugal force gradually. It means from 0 to 5, 10, 20 like that, not to from 0 to 20, 0 to 5, 10, 20, 30 like that. We need to increase the centrifugal force. Next one is the designed sober elevation. Sober elevation means rising of outer angle with respect to inner angle. That is the sober elevation. That means rising of outer angle with respect to inner angle, inner surface or inner radius of the curve. Third one is the extra widening. This is for side distance and other purposes. Next one, driver safety, and he need to move comfortably by rotating his steering or any other belong to the vehicle. Okay, these are the objectives. Next one is the length of the transition curve. That means length means here we are having a particular radius. Those radius will be taken in as length of the transition curve. Where already previous classes we discussed about different kinds of transition curves. This is the one kind of transition curve. This is the simple transition curve. Okay, we are having S-type transition curves. In those different types of curves, we are having different radiuses. According to those, length of the transition curve should varies depending upon the nature and its drawing problem. Okay, this is the length varying depending upon the different diagrams and other situations located in the site conditions. First of all, this length may be depends upon the rate of change of centrifugal acceleration developed gradually. That means rate of change of centrifugal acceleration to be developed gradually. That means not in a single point we need to raise the centrifugal force. It should be developed gradually. That means it should be in a slow manner, not in a rapid manner. Next one is the rate of introduction of designed sober elevation. That means while we are at a end point, that means I will show with the diagram. This is the particular curve. In those particular curve, this is the part. In the center portion, we are having the maximum sober elevation. At the sides, we need to decrease the sober elevation. Likely, okay, this is the sober elevation. For understanding these kind of pictures, we need to use different kinds of drawings. That means in engineering drawing, we have learned different kinds of perspective views. By using those perspective views, we will understand these conditions. Okay, it's not possible to draw these perspective drawings in the boards. Likely we need to understand. Next one is the minimum length by IRC empirical formulas. That means IRC means Indian Road Congress has introduced different kinds of empirical formulas in different situations and conditions, so that we need to use those formulas and different conditions according to the our need, so that we need to implement these transition curves and lengths. What is the rate of change of centrifugal acceleration? First of all, we need to concentrate on centrifugal acceleration. After that, we need to concentrate on super elevation. Okay, first of all, we need to concentrate on centrifugal acceleration. In that centrifugal acceleration, we are having length of the transition curve that can be denoted with LS, that means capital L S. After that, we are having V cube by CR, where V is the velocity of the particular vehicle in meter per second. If we take the velocity in kilometer per hour, that formula will be changes into 0.0215 V cube by CR, because V and kmph, we are having some relation, V equal to 5 by 18 kmph. Like that, we need to change these values according to meter per second and kilometer per hour. After that, we are having this circular centrifugal forces, where C equal to 80 by 75 plus V in meter per second cube. Okay, this is the empirical formulas which was given by Indian Road Congress. We need to remember those. What is the standard length of the curve with respect to velocity, where we are having in the above equation C value, so that C value depends upon this formula 80 by 75 plus V, where V is the velocity. By using that velocity, we will find out the value of the C. After that, calculation of value of C, we need to substitute in the above formula, and R is the radius of the particular curve. We need to find the length of the curve in terms of meter per second or kilometer per hour as we required in this particular condition. This is the rate of change of centrifugal acceleration and the formulas V cube by CR and 0.215 V cube by CR, depending upon different conditions. Next, terminology. In the previous formulas, we are having LS, that means length of the transition curve in terms of meters. Next one, C is the centrifugal acceleration, that means allowable rate of centrifugal acceleration. Allowable means what is the permissible values, what value we don't have to exert, that means మనం అంతకంటే ఎక్కువ ఎంత మించకూడదు, ఎంతలోపు ఉండాలి, మినిమం అండ్ మ్యాక్సిమం వాల్యూస్ ఫర్ centrifugal accelerations. Next, V is the design speeds, as previously we discussed, in kilometer per hour and centimeter per second. Next one is the R is the radius of the particular circular curve. What is the circular curve, we need to take the particular radius in terms of meters. And the second point is the rate of introducing, that means the introduction of super elevation. Primary part we discussed about the centrifugal forces. In the secondary part, we will discuss about the super elevation. That means the length of the curve LS is the, we are having En by 2 of W plus WV. That means WV is the, previously we discussed extra widening. WV is the extra widening. Those can be particularly depends upon mechanical widening and other. Those things we have to do here. WV plus W, where W is the normal width of the pavement. WV equal to extra widening, which is equal to mechanical widening plus physiological widening. Those two things involved here. That means one topic to one topic we are having some sort of linkage. We need to remember those links. Otherwise, the total subject will be confused. So that we are having some sort of linkage. That means it is like a total chain. That means one link to one link we are having some bounding principles, where LS is the total length of the transition curve. With respect to super elevation, we are deriving this formula En by 2, where E equal to small En by 2 into W plus WV. We are having this formula. The pavement is rotated about the center line, that means rotated about center line. That means the total pavement is like this, rotated about center line. That means it is the equi radius r and r on both sides. Like that we have to use the above formula. About the center line means we need to use first formula en by 2. If the radius is not equal, that means if the pavement is rotated about inner edge, that means whatever the we are having different sort of edges, this is a different curve, we need to raise the angle with respect to inner edge. We need to use the below formula en, that is equal to small e into n into w plus we. Those two things we need to remember. With respect to center line, we are having one sort of formula with en by 2, and without center line we are having a rise with respect to inner edge. We have a formula of en, that is equal to small e into e is the elevation, that means equal to total raised pavements, and n is the length of the curve, that means 150 160 we are having. After that, C point is the first point we are having centrifugal force, second point we are having super elevation, third one is the empirical formulas proposed by Indian Road Congress. These are the empirical formulas. We are having two formulas according to terrains, that means we are having different kinds of terrains: plain terrain, rolling terrain, steep terrain, and vertical terrains. Like that we are having totally 4 terrains. Those are ranging from 0 to 60. Those things are discussed in the first chapter, different kinds of terrains, classification of roads according to terrains. Those terrains are useful here for designing these circular curves or transition curves. First of all, we are having plain terrain. The formula is ls equal to 2.7 v square by r, or is not v2, v square, that means velocity into velocity, v square by r. After that we are having mountainous and steep terrain. ls equal to simply v square by r. We are not having any factor in front of the v square. But in case of plain terrains, that means smooth surfaces, whenever the road is a smooth surface without having any irregularities, that comes under this rolling terrain or plain terrain. If the road is having situated in the mountainous terrain, that means some up and downs are there in the particular site, those comes under this mountainous and steep terrains. Those two conditions we are having this transition length as v square by r. That means v equal to velocity in terms of meter per second, r equal to radius, meter square get cancelled, and we will get length in meters, like the in the two conditions, meter square meter per second. It means meter per second, though it will get as meter square per second square. In the bottom we are having meter. Next condition is the shift of transition curve. That means shift means if the transition curve is wholly circular having radius on equal sides, that means the total curve is looking as a circle. That means we are having equal radius on both sides from the center. If the curve is not equal, that means radius is changing. We need to follow different principles. First of all, this is the shift of transition curve. If the length of the transition curve ls and the radius of the circular curve is r and the shift is s, transition curve is given by ls square by 24r. That means s is the transition curve ls. Normally we are having ls, s equal to ls square by 24r, where r is the radius of the curve, ls is the transmission length, s is the super elevation error. Next one, setback distance. We have to understand this setback distance by using this theory. Setback distance is the distance from the center to the horizontal curve and an obstruction in the inner side of the curve. Setback distance is required to provide adequate side distance on the horizontal curve. That means this setback distance is entirely related to our second chapter. We are having sight distances. That means whenever we are want to overtake a particular vehicle, we need to have these side distances and extra widenings on that particular portion of this transition curve we are previously discussed. In those curves having extra widening, we need to use this setback distance for phenomena. In the setback distance is the distance from the center of horizontal curve to an obstruction of the inner side of the curve. That means this is the total horizontal curve and this is the center of the horizontal curve to the this is the center of the horizontal curve from this point to the inner side of the curve. That means this is the total road we are having. This is the inner side I and this is the outer side. At that particular point of the this is the mainly center point. From this point to this point we are having this setback distance. This is the setback distance. Now setback distance is required to provide adequate side distance on the particular horizontal curve. If the road is looking like this kind of the road, this is the center we are having. In this particular, this is the setback distance. Okay, the setback distance is required to provide adequate side distance while we are moving on this particular road. That means circular path, the entire length should be, one end should be elaborated, one end should be compressed. That means this is the total curve. That means one end in the inner side we are having compressive. That means both ends are some sort of extra widening in outer edge, some sort of a compressive force. That means while we bend a particular stick, the inner side of the stick should be having compressive force, the outer side of the stick should be compressive force, tensile forces. Like that we are having different kinds of distances. I will explain with the help of a small diagram. This is the entire circle. This is the inner side of the circle. What is the outer periphery and inner periphery? The outer periphery having more value and inner periphery having less value because of these setback distances. Like that this is if we compare, this is as a road. That means outer periphery having extra distance, inner periphery having, we are having some sort of less distance compared to this outer periphery, so that we need to provide some sort of setback distance to contract these sight distances and other accidental cases in terms of these horizontal curves. This is the main phenomena which should help to prevent these accidents. Okay, I will explain once again. If we are having, this is a total transition curve. In the transition curve we are having outer edge having more length, inner edge having less length. If our vehicle is traveling on those particular curves, we are having some sort of uncomfortable due to while we taking this overtaking. That means while we are traveling on those particular horizontal curves, we need to overtake from our front vehicle, so that we need to have some sort of extra widening. This distance is called setback distance. Okay, obstruction to the side distance on horizontal curve may be buildings, trees and other cut slopes on the inner side of the curve. This is the main problem while we are traveling on those particular horizontal curves, so that we won't have to take these overtakes while we are traveling on those particular horizontal curves. When the road is as straight as possible, we need to take these overtakings. Whenever there is no proper straight conditions, we won't have to take this overtaking. We have to go for a particular length. After that we need to take these overtakes. This is the main phenomena explaining about these setback distances due to discomfort. Whenever we are having a huge amount of large span buildings, that means high rise buildings in our India or or we are having metropolitan cities. In the metropolitan cities, these kind of roads are laid beside of this buildings and other utilities, public utilities like other bridges and other important structures like other courts and other schools, colleges like that. They are laying beside the roads. So due to this height of the structure, we won't have to see the front vehicle. So that these are the obstructions while we are facing traveling on those particular kind of roads having horizontal curves. So we need to have a particular setback distance. Next other points are the on narrow roads where having side distance is measured along the center of the road. That means narrow road and compressed roads, those conditions in the previously we explained. Outer periphery we are having narrow road, inner periphery we are having compressed roads. On wider roads the setback distance is measured along the center lines of the inner side of the road. That means wider lines and narrow roads. Narrow means compressed roads, wider means elaborated roads. Narrow roads we are having a side distance measured along with the center line. That means we need to locate the center points of the particular roads, and by using this center point we have to map the side distances. But in case of wider roads, that means wide means having a huge amount of space, wider space. In those particular cases we don't have to measure those particular side distance with respect to inner or outer sides. Next one, setback distance is mainly depends upon the required side distance. That means amount of side distance required for overtaking of vehicles, that can be denoted with S. Next one is the radius of the horizontal curve. If the radius is so high, that means as high as possible, the side distance may be, we are having long side distance. That means whatever the vehicle is going very long, we will observe clearly due to this long span of road. If the road is very tight, that means the horizontal curve is so low, that means we are having less sort of side distance. That means length of the curve also depends upon these the conditions, three conditions. First one is the required side distance, that is S. Next one is the horizontal or curve, that means radius of the curve. Next one is the length of the curve. Radius means from the center point what is the radius of the curve. Next means length of the curve means the total length of the curve. Those things also we explained with this diagram. This is the total length of the curve. This is the radius of the curve. This is the difference between radius of the horizontal curve and length of the curve. Okay, length of the curve and radius of the curve. Radius is from the center point. Length means from one end to another end, where to length we are having, that is called as the length of the horizontal curve. From the center point, what is the radius? Those two things will be having differ according to their nature. Okay, these things are explained in the pictorial representation. Okay, A and B are the 2 points. A point, 2 and B point, we are having widening in terms of meter. SD is the transition length of the curve and alpha is the angle. C is the center point. Okay, R is the radius of connecting two lanes with equidistance. From A and B we are having equiradius. That means equiradius means on both sides of the curve we are having equiradius. R and R are equal. This is explaining the previous conditions. And the analysis of setback distances, different principles involved to analyze these setback distances, because we are having particular length of the curve. Simply we construct the road with a horizontal curve, it is not superior. We need to contract the different kinds of problems we are facing while we are traveling on those particular roads. That means we need to contract the accidents and other sight problems, that means the sight distances. Okay, to contract those we need to analyze these setback distances. with respect to two conditions. First one is the length of the curve is more than the side distance. Length of the curve is less than the side distance. That means less than and more than side distance. The total setback distance is proportional to this side distances. If the length of the curve is more than the side distance, that means whatever the length we required, the length is more than that, what we have to take. The length is less than that, what we need to implement. Those two things we are discussed here. Analysis of this setback distance. First of all, in case 1, it is greater than setback distance. That means alpha is the angle. As previously we take, alpha is the angle between those two at the middle point and end point. Alpha by 2 equal to s by 2r. Simply 2 get cancels s. In terms of radians and degrees we are having, that means radians and degrees. Alpha by 2 equal to s by 2r. Alpha by 2 equal to 180 s by 2 pi r. In terms of degrees, in terms of radians. Next one, setback distance in terms of meters we are having m equal to r minus r cos alpha by 2. That means r we will take it as constant, r into 1 minus cos alpha by 2, where alpha by 2 is the angle from the center point to the end point. This is the case we will take when length is having extra when compared to side distance. This is the example. This is the alpha and m is the arbitrary. Okay, we will draw the particular lines. We are having this kind of this is the particular line joining two ends of the particular radius. Okay, after that we are considering either both as a triangle. From the triangle we need to have some extra sort of distance to contract the force, that means side distances, so that we need to elaborate some sort of distances, that is called as m. In the previous we calculated that m equal to r minus r cos alpha by 2, where r is the, we are having radius of the particular curve. We are having radius, r equal to radius. We need to calculate m, that means at the medium point from this point m equal to r minus r into cos alpha by 2. Alpha is the angle between those two ends at a particular point a and b. This is the point a, this is the point b. From this is the center of the particular two curves. O to a we are having radius r. Okay, O to b are also we are having same radius. This is the line joining both two points a and b. From that point we need to calculate m value, m equal to r minus r cos alpha by 2. Okay, and next one, for wider road, this is the alpha by 2 equal to s by 2 of r minus d radians. In terms of degrees we are having 180 by 2 pi. Simply converting radians into degrees, we are having 2 pi 180 by 2 pi multiplication with 180 by 2 pi. Alpha by 2 equal to, in terms of m, that means meters, we are having formula r minus d into cos alpha by 2. Okay, in the previous case we are having s by 2r. In terms of meters we are having r minus r cos alpha by 2, but in case of these narrow roads, r minus d into cos alpha by 2, that means we are neglecting some sort of distance, that is equal to d from the radius of the particular curve. Okay, this is the radius of the particular curve r, and we are having increase of the particular distance d. Okay, this is the typical example showing all those r values and d values and m values. By using those three, we will find out m equal to r minus d into cos alpha by 2. Alpha is the angle, cos is the tangent trigonometrical angle, and d is the distance. Once again, we will discuss these two principles. If the length of the curve is more than the side distance, LC greater than S, we are having formula equal to m equal to r minus r cos alpha by 2. The length of the curve is less than the side distance, we are having formula m equal to r minus d into cos alpha by 2. There is a small change, that means r both are common, but in case of second term we are neglecting distance, that means small d. In terms of radians also we are having 180 by 2 pi. Here also 180 by 2 pi we are multiplying with top and by bottom. 180 by pi. 2 r common, 180 by pi we are multiplying. 2 r common, 180 by pi. Okay, this is the today's topic. What we discussed is this horizontal curve. That means total topic today we discussed about horizontal curve. What are the factors affecting the horizontal curve? How we need to nullify those factors depending upon centrifugal force and cantilever. That means super elevation and some other extra widenings. Those three topics are included with these horizontal curves. Those things are discussed in the today's class.